Save the pig! What the heck? A pig with a party hat. Hello, Mr. Piggy. The secret piggy. Save the pig, the game. The whole game you're trying to save the pig's life. Help!
So you may have noticed something in the last couple of weeks on YouTube. Particularly, I noticed it obviously looking at my content, but then I started looking at other people's content as well, and I noticed it's not just me, it's across the board that something is going on with YouTube. If you're not aware, something is happening on YouTube where they are changing it either has to do with some kind of an algorithm or it has to do with the way that views are being calculated on videos. Okay? Now, before anyone freaks out, I just want you to understand something. I get absolutely nothing positive based off of views. Alright? Zero. The days of me being partnered with a company that used to pay me per view and stuff are long in the past. Those are ancient days. So, view counts on YouTube really only count as a public-facing way to judge popularity. Well, guess what? I'm not Mr. Popular, and I never will be. That's not what I'm aspiring to be. That's not what I care about. I don't care about viral popularity or people finding my videos randomly on YouTube and joining or anything like that. As you know, I make my content for a group of people who really like me, who understand the kind of content creator I am, and want to support that independent style. You see? It's called curated content. It's made specially for a particular audience. And I like the fact that I'm the size that I am, because I'm not tiny, but I'm not big. I'm at a level where I can have fun social interactions with you guys and make what I feel is meaningful content. Okay? There was a time when it was all about the views, and there was competition for day one views and all of that, and those things are long in the past. For me, it's not a concern. But I have noticed a buzz and people talking about stuff recently, and I'm like, well, let's address it. Let's address the elephant in the room. You may have noticed that in the last few weeks, for some reason, it looks like viewership on DSP Gaming has dwindled a bit. And you're like, well, I don't get it. Phil's playing big new games, like the Mortal Kombat Story Mode, or Lies of P. I mean, Lies of P is huge. People were interested to find out if this game that's not from FromSoft would play like a FromSoft game, and it's great. Like, I'm absolutely loving the game. It's everything you would want from this style of game. It's just as good as a FromSoft game, in my opinion. Every time I stream it, viewers come out to support and enjoy, and they treat it like a FromSoft game. So why on earth are the views for my playthrough seemingly really low? Part 1 of the playthrough only has 3,000 views.
Oh my god!
Even for any new game, that's low. If you take a look at the other games that I've been playing recently on this channel, you know, Starfield has over 6,000 views for Part 1, right? Armored Core, a game that, honestly, I don't think a lot of people really cared that much about, had over 4,000 views for Part 1, right? So why on earth would this playthrough only have 3,000 views on Part 1 and then basically only 1,000 views for every other part after? It seems a little weird, doesn't it? Now, the thing is, if you take a look at other playthroughs I've done this year, they vary. Earlier this year, some playthroughs were doing superbly well. Like when I did Resident Evil 4 Remake, that did really good views for the channel. Like, probably the biggest playthrough I've done all year long. And other playthroughs followed suit. But it seemed like at some point during the summertime, alright, my viewership dwindled a little bit. Admittedly, you knew that would happen. Why? Because I was playing a ton of Street Fighter 6 and a bunch of RPGs. Let's be honest, the RPGs weren't that great. Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, they were boring to follow along, especially Final Fantasy 16. That game was a snore fest, right? I did some retro stuff, but I wasn't expecting to get giant viewership playing Chrono Trigger. You see what I'm saying? So, in general, it wasn't a big deal. But then when I start playing newer games, you're like, well, you think that, you know, the views would spike again. And they definitely haven't. So looking at this, you know, the last couple of weeks, I've noticed this pattern. And the thing is, and this is why I'm telling you it's not a concern for me, my revenue, meaning what I make, has not gone down in any way, shape, or form. Because I track it every day. You know, on YouTube it says, here's what you made on YouTube today, and I see what I make on a stream in a day. Literally has not been affected in any way. Things are good. You guys are supporting the streams. The ad revenue on YouTube is the same. So, does that, just think about that. If you're getting distinctly less views, how on earth could ad revenue be the same? It wouldn't make sense. Ad revenue is based on how many people watch your videos with ads enabled. So you're telling me that on a new playthrough, typically in the fall, especially a one like Lies of P, I definitely thought was going to be bigger, okay? You're telling me on a playthrough like that, right, that with a significant decrease in viewership, supposedly, that I'm making exactly the same ad revenue. How does that make sense? It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. So, you scratch your head like, how does that make any sense? Maybe it doesn't at all. Maybe it's just a thing on YouTube that they've done, and somehow they're not counting a partial view as a whole view. Maybe they're cutting out certain kinds of views. Maybe they literally just tweaked a formula and it screwed everyone's view counts up. I have no idea, okay? I don't know. And the thing is, there's no way I would know. YouTube doesn't say shit about this kind of stuff. In fact, when you usually ask YouTube, they'll deny.
Ow! Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? Why'd you just go to bite mommy? Wow. Alright, so you see what pigs can do.
Years ago, they absolutely denied the fact that people were getting unsubscribed to channels when we had empirical evidence it was happening, okay?
Oh my god, he's drinking wheelchair donations.
Now, of course, my naysayers and hate watchers would say, well, this is only you, it's because no one likes you. Ridiculous. Like I said, my streams have been doing well. I've been getting great consistent viewership, great support, everything there is fine. And the thing is, I decided to compare this with other YouTube channels, okay? Directly comparing my channel with others, I've seen exactly the same patterns.
Now, I'll be honest, one thing I did notice, it doesn't seem to affect big people, because big people already are virally known. So whenever a big person, makes a video, there's already so many people going in there that likely the aggregate views kick it into the algorithm and people are finding it anyway.
Even though it's claiming that overall views on my channel are good, the video view count looks low. Just think about that. It's telling me my views are on par with what I usually get, but yet all the videos I'm putting out seem to have lower views. How does that make sense? It doesn't. There's something weird going on, okay? I don't know what it is, but I don't want anyone to panic because it doesn't really affect me. You gotta remember something, okay? My business operates on crowdfunding primarily. It's revenue from people who support the content directly. As long as you're watching it, you're engaging with it by liking streams and videos you're enjoying, by leaving comments on videos, by interacting with me on the streams, and then for those who go above and beyond with super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, and tips. When that stuff keeps going on, that ad revenue factor isn't a huge factor. It is there. Don't get me wrong. Ad revenue does happen. And in fact, the next few months, it's typically October, November, December. These are the 3 huge months for advertisements on YouTube where ad revenue will spike. Typically, I would see a little bit of an a little bit of an increase in ad revenue for these 3 months. It's usually not a ton, but it's a bit, Now I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm curious, will this actually not happen this year? Will there be no increase because YouTube is essentially suppressing views on content and only promoting the ones that they think are good? I don't know.
Oh my god, he's drinking sperm?
But the good news is, I am kind of immune from it. I've built this model, this business model, that's very different from what a lot of other people are dependent on. Most people are dependent on the ad revenue on YouTube or paid product placements. That's literally where all their money comes from. That's not where any of my money comes from. It all comes from crowdfunding and your support daily. So as long as you like the content and you support it, I'm here, and I ain't going anywhere. I don't care how low the views get. I know people are watching, because people interact with me every day. We're talking with each other, we're hanging out. The content's getting watched and it's being supported, so I have nothing to be afraid of. But whenever YouTube has something going on like this, people freak out. Oh my god, I see that this is down and that is down. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. It's Chicken Little mode, right? It's not. It's really not. I've been through this a million times in my YouTube career of 15 years now. And it's not a giant deal as long as we stay the course and everyone just keeps enjoying what they're watching. Don't care about the view count. I don't. I know that when I play these games, I have a great time. I enjoy them. I love the podcast with you guys. The react show once a week is great. So as long as we like the content and people support it, then who cares what the view count says, right? It doesn't matter at all. You know what they said? Is that you can be completely set for life based on essentially having a customer base of about 1,000 customers. And in any kind of business. So hey, as long as I got 1,000 people who like what I do, and they come by and they support, I don't really care what YouTube says about views. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Now, I would hope that YouTube doesn't pull the rug out from under me on ad revenue, because like I said, it's not giant, but it is a chunk of income every month, and I wouldn't want to see that go away, but at the same time, I'm looking and it says it's not. It hasn't said, oh, your revenue dipped. So it doesn't make sense. It just, again, it seems to me like something has happened. It's just another algorithm change, another way that things behind the scenes change by these code monkeys who just keep typing code and kicking it out there into the wild without explaining to anyone how it's going to change stuff. So, once again, the bigwigs, the ones on top, stay on top, and everyone else gets pushed down, swept under the rug. That's how YouTube's been now for a good 8 to 10 years.
Ow! No! Why'd you do that?
And it just keeps going that way, where it only supports the top dogs and keeps making them popular and famous while everyone else is like, oh well. But you know what? I'm okay with that. Really, I'm okay. Listen, I'm happy where I am. Thank you all. Don't worry. I'm not worried. I'm literally not worried at all. It's I keep seeing people bring it up. Oh my god, look at the views, the views, the views. Like, who cares about the views? The views don't mean shit. The views never meant anything, you know? Since my partnership with Machinima ended, you know.
Day one views, day one inflated views, make the money. I'm having a good time. As long as you guys are still here and supporting, it doesn't really matter. You know, we're going to be all right. I purposefully pushed myself away from that model of popularity and all that bullshit so that we could still have a good time together and not worry about, oh no, because YouTube made another algorithm shift. Now everything's fucked. I changed from that so that we're not relying on that anymore. And that's a good thing. Oh my god, he's drinking piss.
Thank you all for all of your ongoing support. I guess we'll just get the plug segment out of the way then, shall we? So here's the deal. This week, I am looking to hit some support goals. And what I've done, what we were doing is we were doing member goals that were daily. And what happened was, they were very small. It would be like 10 members a day. And then we would hit that, and then I'd say, okay, well, let's increase it another 10. And people would be like, oh, but we already hit the goal, so why are you increasing it?
It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control.
I was like, because it doesn't mean anything. We're not working towards like a reward. It's just there as a guidance to see how we want the channel to grow. It's not necessarily a big deal. It's just something to work towards, and it feels good when we hit it, right? But people started complaining about that. Oh, well, when it was a monthly goal, that was too big of a goal. It seemed unreachable. We don't like the fact that you have a monthly goal to do an event. Just do the events. So I said, all right, fine. We will just do special events. I won't base them on goals anymore. But it's nice to have something to work towards. So we'll do daily member goals. Then people recently have complained, oh, we don't like the daily member goals. Okay, so how about a weekly member goal? The weekly goal for me this week is 650. That's what I want to hit by the end of the week. This was the goal from last week. And actually, we hit it, and then we lost it because like 30 members expired that were gifted the month before. So if we can hit 650 by the end of this week, that would be superb. That's what I'm looking for. That would help this channel grow, all right? That's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is that every day I'm trying to hit at least a tier 1 goal per stream, if possible. Now, if we have a stream where we hit like a tier 2 goal, hey, then that's good for the whole day, you see? But the thing I want to avoid is what happened last week, where I'd have one stream where we like, okay, we hit the tier 1 goal, and that was it, and then the next stream I made $2. It's like, oh, that's not good. Can't have multiple days where I have like night streams where I'm basically, they're like dead streams. You know, and that happened twice last week when we were doing the single player content of NK1. So I'm trying to avoid that and be more transparent with you guys. All right, we can hit the tier 1 goal every stream, that'd be great. Or if we have a really good stream, that kind of makes up for it for the day, and that's good too. All right, so that's my goals for the week. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed. Thanks to those who contribute towards them and allow us to hit them. It's great. It keeps everything going, and thank you so much, okay? So that's it. I'm not really going to be talking more about this. The best ways to support the channel today would be a membership, gifted membership, or a tip. Super chats are great. I appreciate them. I will shout them out if you super chat. But the other methods would be a little better today as we're working towards these goals for the week. Once we hit the goals, that doesn't really matter, you see?
And I'm constantly just shilling things nonstop during everything that I do. So it's because I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I'm so just enveloped in greed and money. I need money. I need money.
Like I said, it would be really great if we could get some members today. We have lost a ton over the last few days. At one point we were at 650, now we're down to 596. I really would like to hit 650 by the end of this week, so please consider becoming a member or maybe gifting some memberships to the community today. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of attendance on the Mortal Kombat multiplayer stream, okay? Just listen to this. This is funny. Puff asks me, thoughts on Secret Limited losing his partnership and retiring? What a loaded question to ask me. Because number 1, you know if I speak about one of my detractors, it's drama. Number 2, I can't confirm a single statement you made. I don't know if Secret Limited ever had a partnership. I don't know if Secret Limited lost their partnership. And I don't know if Secret Limited is retiring. You're asking me a crazy, loaded-ass question that no matter how I answer, you know what I say, adds fuel. So, should I just ignore the question? Should I answer? You know what I mean? Like, listen, you guys know my take on Secret Limited. This is a person who literally would just take stuff completely out of context from my streams and put it into an edited way to make it look dramatic and then make me look bad on the internet, right? And then, during the whole time period when the Escort saga was going on, right, which had no foothold in reality. The Escort saga was completely fabricated by trolls, detractors, and scam artists, all right? That person made a video covering it as if it was real. Saying everything was factually true, the way that they covered it. Now, when it was proven that it was false, what they did is they just changed the thumbnail of the video to take out the face of the woman who was being catfished. That's it. They didn't retract. They didn't fix it. They didn't say this whole thing was false, therefore this video was all drama bullshit, and you guys ate it up and gave me views and money for it. They just changed the thumbnail. That was it. Never even had an explanation or anything saying I was wrong to make this video because it was all fake, right? So from that moment on, literally anything that person ever made was trash. It didn't matter what else they did, but every year, like clockwork, they put out a video about me. It's all drama. It's all nonsense. It's out of context. It's all the same regurgitated detractor shit everyone else does. It's trash. It's internet trash. All right? It's literal trash. Everything they've ever done was trash. Okay? So, that being said, what do you think I'm going to say if you tell me that this person lost their partnership and is retiring from YouTube? What oh, what a horrible loss for the internet. Let me tell you, we'll never be able to survive without Secret Limited. I mean, how on earth would we ever get by without someone like that, right? I mean...
He's toxic. Every fucking day he's toxic. Every day he's here, he's toxic.
You know? But again, I literally have no idea whatsoever what you're talking about. I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't even know the person was ever even partnered. All right? What I would guess is that they were making information that was blatantly slanderous and wrong, and someone finally proved it, and YouTube took away their partnership because of it. That would be my guess, but I could be completely wrong because I don't follow that account. I don't care about detractor shit. You know what I'm saying?
There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me. It's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money. Blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone. Just gone like that. In an instant. Fucking gone. I just care about money. I just can't help it. By eBay. Contributions are mandatory. But I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.